All right, this is pre-calc video on 2.2, solving quadratic equations by factoring. All right, so we've got 4 different methods of solving quadratic equations that you're going to learn. The first one is to use factoring. Right, so the first method is to use factoring to solve equations. Here are the steps. These are the steps. And I just want to point out that right now we're only going to be talking about real solutions. So you might remember that quadratics can sometimes have imaginary solutions. When you get to the point, if you do get to the point where you find you're taking the square root of a negative number, you're just going to stop. All right, and I'll show you examples of that as we proceed through this chapter or this section. So here I've got a problem that I'm going to solve by factoring, and my first step is to set the equation equal to 0. So that means that I've got to have one side or the other equal to 0. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of that 6 from both sides of the equal sign. So I have 2x squared plus 11x minus 6 equals 0. So factoring does not work unless you've got the equation equal to 0 first. Step 2 is to factor. So I'm going to look for, this is hard AC. Always GCF first. This has no GCF. It has 3 terms and the leading coefficient is not 1. So this is a hard AC problem. I want to find factors of negative 12, whose sum is 11. And so positive 12 and negative 1 are my magic numbers. All right, so first times first is 2x times x. Outer times outer has to be positive 12, so 2 times positive 6. Inner times inner has to be negative 1, so 1 times negative 1. And last times last is negative 6. That was step 2. So I did step 1, I did step 2. Step 3, set both equations equal to 0. So I've got 2x minus 1 equals 0. And I've got x plus 6 equals 0. And so that was step 3. And now I'm just going to solve both equations. I'm going to add 1, divide by 2. That's 1/2. Okay. The other equation, I'm going to subtract 6. So this has 2 solutions, x equals 1/2 and x equals negative 6. All right, next problem. I'm going to scoot this down here for now, make sure I have room. All right, so problem 2 is already set equal to 0. All right, this one's easy AC. There's no GCF. I'm looking for factors of 15, whose sum is negative 8. 5 and 3, both negative. Negative 5 times negative 3 multiplies to positive 15 and adds to negative 8. So this is easy AC. I can just plug them in. X minus 5 times x minus 3 equals 0. Right, so it was set equal to 0. I factored it. Now I'm going to set both factors equal to 0. So x minus 5 equals 0. And x minus 3 equals 0. And solve both equations. So add 5, x equals 5. Add 3, x equals 3. 2 solutions. Problem number 3. Right, first I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides. This has no GCF. It's easy AC because it has 3 terms and the leading coefficient is positive 1. I'm looking for factors of negative 14, whose sum is negative 5. 7 and 2, negative 7 and positive 2 multiply to negative 14 and add to negative 5. Just plug them in because this is an easy problem. Set each factor equal to 0. And then solve both equations. There are 2 solutions. All right, any factoring method that is appropriate, that factors your polynomials, use, but the steps are the same. Set them equal to 0, factor them, set your factors equal to 0, solve. All right, that's it.